Hey everybody, welcome to Kats Creations live on Friday night at 5 o'clock here in Southern California. So if you are joining me anywhere else except the West Coast, it's probably 7 or 8 o'clock for you. We're gonna do a really simple technique. I've taught the group this technique, the bubble method, early on, but we're just gonna do a quick bubble wreath today to show you it's a simple wreath that you can create, but if you struggle with the Pouf method, it might pose an issue for you because you've got to get that technique mastered in gathering enough material, and but it's easier than a Pouf. So what we're going to start with is I'll go over all the materials with you, so if you need to know what materials you need, just skip back to the video once it goes into replay when we're done. And then you can have an itemized list of not the SKU numbers, but the materials of what you'll need to put it together. So to keep costs down, it's necessary if you want to keep selling your wreaths to not have overpriced wreaths sitting in your store. So if you can shop and find good quality materials, then it keeps your unit cost or what the customer is going to pay for the wreath down, and it'll allow quite a bit of the product to be sold within your store. So this one's very simple because the only thing you're going to need is a roll of 21-inch Deco mesh. You can do it with a 10, you can probably do it with a 5, but you're going to have to change the size of your wreath frame. I personally have not done a 10 or smaller, but I know that there's people within the group that have. So this method that we're doing tonight is with a full roll. So you need a brand new roll of 21-inch Deco mesh. You will need a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. You will need a sign to sit in the middle of your wreath. So you can use, this one's a 10 by 10 round, which is gonna fit in perfectly. You can go a little bit wider. You can do a smaller sign. You can kind of put it off to the side. But what you'll start to notice is embellishing it becomes a little more challenging. So for me, we're gonna top it off with a really beautiful bow that ties in all these colors and the little styrofoam balls. So that's what you'll need. Roll of 21-inch Deco mesh, a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. You will need 4 rolls of ribbon. My preference is 2 2.5-inch rolls and 2 1.5-inch rolls to give yourselves like a really good full bow. You will need about 35, 36, 37, 38 pipe cleaners, and then some styrofoam balls if you want to embellish it the way I do. So let me know who's there before I start.
So we Melody, Connie, Cindy, Susan, Peggy, Teresa, Gloria, Kathy, Alma, Ginger, Sandra, Sandra, Jane, Shirley, Jaylarai, Teresa, and Julie and Jean.
Okay. Well, welcome to those of you that are joining us. If you're a first-time member, let us know, and also let us know where you're from. We like to try to pair you with people that are all over the continental U.S. and try to get you in touch with someone close to your community or close to where you live, and then that way you can kind of form your own little network of a wreath making group.
Yep. Hi gals, just jumping on. Kim, Nancy, Christy, Donna, and Chris, and Kathy Fazio said if you can't speak up just a little bit, because we're not on the Mevo anymore.
Yeah, we're not on the Mevo. We're experiencing technical issues which will be resolved by Wednesday.
Not necessarily.
Will be resolved.
We might have to send it into Mevo.
What's end up happening is the Mevo right now is not recognizing when we plug the hard cable into the actual device.
Ethernet.
Yeah, the Ethernet cable. But I'm trying to keep it simple in terms that people would understand. So plugging it into your cable that runs into your wall like a phone jack. Our Mevo camera right now is not recognizing that when we plug it in, that it's connected to a hardwire source. So we're working with Mevo to get it resolved. So we're hoping we should have it resolved maybe by next week. So the sign, for those of you that are gonna already ask me, came from Shelia at ChalkItAll. She's the one that made me the sign, so this is the sign that we're using. Is Sheila on? already today on our live?
I haven't seen her on yet.
So Sheila, if you're joining us, post your website link, because I know people are going to want to know where to get the sign. Sheila made me the sign, so I thought it looked perfect within the palette and the simplicity that we're using today.
Lee's on. Hi, Lee.
Hi, Lee. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this 21-inch Deco mesh, and we will use the entire roll right down to nothing. So our goal is to try to use as little as possible to start it. So what I'm going to do is gather all this in a bunch, trying to keep all that frayed mess in a bunch, and then I'm trying to remember because it's been so long since we've done this. I'm actually going to drop this to the floor because it keeps it from sliding around on my workshop table, and I am going to, I know it goes under one of the two inner rings, and you're going to zip tie it to one of them. So either one of the two middle, pick one or the other, it doesn't matter. I prefer to try to gather it on a cross beam so it won't slide around on you. So I'm taking this, here's my zip tie. I'm going to bring this around and zip tie it from the bottom up to contain the mess. And it's always so much fun to put zip ties on.
Hi, Brenda. Hi, Nancy. Hi, gals just joining.
Not.
Donna Morrison said, what size is the wreath frame you used on the candy cane wreath behind you?
14 inches,
It's also
believe it or
14
not.
inch. Yep.
Yeah, this became that, believe it or not. That was just a poof method. So this is like, what we're doing today is a poof, but it's compacted or stacked like slices of bread in a loaf. This is all spread out. So both will require. Okay, so you snip off the end and you've got that raw cut end. If you can, you want to take it and kind of push it around so that it goes on the other side, because you're going to have so much compacted here. I'm going to move all this stuff off to the side. And then what you will need is your pipe cleaners. So because I know ultimately what I plan to do them, I'm going to be alternating red, white, and green, and then keep going back red, white, and green as I poof. So you kind of get the idea of what I'm doing in a second. So as you can see, my poof, my very first one's actually going to be in a section by itself where I have zip tied it. It's in the section just before that on what would probably be wreath frame 3. So mine's on the outer of the two middle, more towards the outside.
Oh. Yep, Donna, sorry, she asked about the candy cane side itself. Yeah, and Lee replied, it's 8 by 8.
This is a high foil deco mesh. So this is every single square in the deco mesh is filled with either red, white, or this lime green color. So what you're going to do is you will need to make sure that your poofs are undone and that you're working with the outsides on the outermost outside pieces. So you're going to fluff it like this. So just put your hand inside, and right where we would normally like fasten this to our pipe cleaner, we're actually going to push this up. We're going to take a pipe cleaner and put it underneath the wreath between the two innermost rings.
It's ring 2 and 3.
Yeah, for people that know count, or just the two inner ones. You're going to take your pipe cleaner and you're going to twist it. And for me, I'm not putting anything else in it, so I'm going to twist it my 5 times, like so. And then you're going to pull all your poofs out, just like so.
Okay, by the time you get the poof method done and the bubble all the way around, you put the sign in, trust me, it'll look good.
Yeah, it looks kind of funky right now, but watch. So you're gonna do this process 5 times in each one of these little sections. So this is the first one, and all you're gonna do is as you poof it, you're just going to move it forward. So again, 10 inches for me, right here. I'm gonna take this, put my hand in, and poof it. It looks really good when you use this technique and you do the bubble method on it because it has that high metallic content, so it's going to sparkle quite a bit.
Hi Beth, hi Barbara, hi Olga. Yeah, okay, the poof is a 10-inch poof.
I'm going all the way around exactly 10 inches. And the reason why is on a bubble method wreath, you want to make sure that the height of every single one of your poofs is exactly. Otherwise, you're either going to have some high and lows when you look at it. So you want to make sure everything is the same height all the way around. Yeah. And that you've unpoofed it.
Beth said, hello from South Carolina. I'm finally catching you live for the first time.
Thank you for joining us.
I've watched you numerous times on YouTube.
Awesome.
Videos.
I've got to go back
Thanks,
over
Beth.
and talk to my YouTube people. I haven't done that. We've been kind of busy. So you're just going to keep taking each one of these and just pushing it forward.
Yeah.
So you can get about 5 in each section.
Ooh, Becky said if using a 10-inch frame, what size poof? Ooh, that'd be tough. Huh?
Probably try it with a 10-inch and
Still
see
a
what
10?
it looks like on a 10-inch wreath frame.
A 10-inch wreath frame.
Yeah, I would try with a 10 and see what you're going to get. But I think people say that you put more poofs in it per section.
No, it's a 10-inch frame, not a bigger frame.
10-inch frame. This
Smaller.
is 14.
Right, so it's a
Right,
smaller.
going smaller. Deco mesh, going smaller. Putting more deco mesh. Like this only occupies 5. That might occupy 8 per round. That's what I would do. I just do one section, poof it, and then see how you like the way that it looks. If it's not enough to go completely over your inner and outer, then you might have to go bigger. But I would not do a 21-inch on a 10-inch wreath form. I think it's too small.
You'd only use a 10-inch
Yeah,
deco mesh?
yeah.
Gotcha.
Because this is 21 on a 14.
That I understand, yeah.
So, as you can see.
Chris said that mesh looks perfect for a Grinch wreath.
Right?
And then, yeah, y'all you gals can share. Thanks for sharing.
Exactly. So.
And then somebody asked where the deco mesh came from.
This deco mesh, I believe, either came from Craft Outlet or the Wreath Shop at one point. This is still part of that stash, but the label looks similar to like what you would find in the Wreath Shop or Craft Outlet. So just look for it, 21-inch high foil metallic. Keep trying to keep my colors going. High foil metallic, red, white, and I think it's lime green. And you can, like, we were going to go with one of 2 different colors.
Yep.
I had one with smaller foils, but I wanted it to have a bigger impact.
Hi Diana, happy Friday, Cheryl.
Okay.
Pro, yeah, so this is a 21-inch roll of deco mesh. You only need 1 roll. And it's a poof technique that she pushes in to make it a bubble. And it's 10-inch, the 10-inch poof.
Right. So this is my 5th poof. So I just kind of take them, you poof them, and move them forward. So I'm trying to keep my colors and making sure that I'm putting them in the right section. So what it will end up doing is, I wish I had that wreath, but I don't. It actually sold fairly recently. My last bubble lighted wreath sold already. So I don't have that to say. Basically, this is what it's gonna look like.
DS, sorry I missed you. Husband's been in the hospital. Hope he's doing better, D. And then she asked, how was your daughter's wedding?
It was amazing.
It was good.
We're
Great.
glad that it's over.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of preparation that comes into, you know, doing a wedding. And then I found out, believe it or not, that I got so dehydrated the week up into the wedding. That's where my 11-day migraine headache came from. So I found out when I came home and started drinking large quantities of water that my migraines went away and I started to feel a lot better.
Yeah.
So I was like, great.
Beth, that's a 14-inch wreath frame form from Dollar Tree.
So there's 5. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next one I'm actually going to poof, and then it's going to jump into the next section. So it's going to start here, And then when we do it, it's gonna jump the rail, and then we're gonna secure it on the other section.
Hi Gail. Gail said it's cold in Jacksonville, Florida.
What's
cold to you?
Yeah.
60 probably.
It could be though. I mean, for us here, cold was 50, right?
No, cold means, yeah, 30.
It was 50 last night. It was chilly.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking. And there's a reason why I'm color coordinating my pipe cleaners, and you'll see it at the very, very end. So I have red, white. This one's going to be green. So all I'm going to be doing is pulling my pipe cleaners. And you could use half pipe cleaners, but there's a reason I'm not cutting my pipe cleaners off, and I'll show you that at the very, very end. Because when you do a bubble wreath, you can't lay ribbon in between.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Yeah.
And then you're going 5 sections, right? And then you're jumping over into the next section.
Yeah, like I'm here when I'm ending, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it starts here, 1.
Right.
So, just to make it a little easier. So, always poofing, making sure your height is the same. And then just back to 10-inch poofs. So the method's actually pretty simple. You just got to make sure your poofs aren't folded. Because if they're folded, then they won't poof like a slice of bread.
Yeah. Kay asked if you use 10-inch frame with 10-inch mesh, would you still put 5 poofs in each section?
No, I think you have to go
Probably
more.
go more.
Yeah.
Depends on, depends on if you try it with 5, if you think it's still a little bit thin, you could add a couple more. But it's got to be a really high foil.
It looks better
Deco
when
mesh,
you get it into the foils.
Yeah.
We've done it in black and white. This method actually sold really well during Halloween time when we did it in the high foil black, purple, green, orange. And it makes it really simple to embellish. You just add a bow, a cute sign, maybe a couple little spiders or something. So you'll see.
So how many are you in that section you're on?
Okay, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my first one. 1, 2. So I'm on my third one.
Gotcha. Angela said, yay, the bubble's back. I was hoping you'd do another bubble. It's your favorite.
know. The bubbles actually sell really, really well because, like I said, you can keep your price points down because really your materials cost is a sign, or the ribbon to make your bow, and your wreath frame.
Oh, Gail and Peggy said it was like in the 40s and 37 degrees in Jacksonville.
That is cold.
That's pretty cold, yeah.
I could honestly say, babe, that would be cold for Florida when they're used to, like, I don't know what your average highs are, maybe mid 70s for this time of year.
Sandra said it's been about 25 degrees here in the last few days. I think Sandra's a little bit further north though. Right? I think so.
Well, I know that they're supposed to get hit with some cold snap, but it's more along the people on the East Coast, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Barbara said she got about 7 inches of snow in upstate New York and it's cold. Welcome to winter. We wish. Faye, she's gonna do a couple different size ribbons. She's gonna do 2.5 and 1.5 for the bow.
It makes it easier to have a full bow that way. So this is my 5th one in the same section, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh yeah, Sandra is way up there in Maine. That's right. That's really cold.
Yeah, it probably is. So you can tell when it starts, when you're getting close to the 5 because you're pushing your bubble forward and it's pretty tough to push it forward.
Gail said, Steve, after the holidays, you need to do another live press for the new members.
Right?
No, that's okay.
You don't want to do it? I know, I was telling him the
I
other
could.
day.
I could do one with you.
I was like, we don't do wreaths together anymore. We used to. I'm like, when's the last time? The last time was when you did your fishing wreath, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2.
Oh, that's super nice. Julie said, Kat, I think you make some of the most stunning wreaths I've ever seen.
Thank you. I just try to make Here's the thing. I only make what I like.
Yeah.
So, but I will make what a customer does want. I had a challenging situation today. I had a customer who asked me to make a tree topper bow similar to the lantern swag I have behind me.
Yeah.
And they wanted the exact ribbon used. And number one, I had to go through, and they wanted it. It's going on a 12-foot Christmas tree, and they wanted it with 8-foot tails. So that's a lot of ribbon.
Yeah.
And they want it exactly like the ribbon that I'm using in my tree topper.
Hi, Gail. She said late journey looks pretty. Gail Falk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Becky said we now have summer and winter in India. I'm missing a couple seasons this year.
We just have summer, a mild summer, maybe a little bit of a spring, and then that's it.
Yeah.
It's so bad that it threw our apple trees off, so that it's produced apples twice now.
Yeah, we don't have much of a fall.
Right. Okay, so back to the tree topper bow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just making sure. Okay, so that's my second section, so I'm jumping into my next one. So my challenge was I went and I pulled out one of my existing tree topper bows to look at thickness and would I be able to do it with the ribbon that I used there. And the very first thing that dawned on me is on a tree topper bow, we use 2.5-inch ribbon. We don't use 1.5-inch ribbon on it at all. And I was telling Steve it's because it doesn't have enough weight to hold itself up when you're building your tree topper bow on your pro bow. So I had to email the customer back and say, out of the 2.5-inch colors I do have, it's not going to be a perfect match. So I will go out and look and see if I can find something similar and then go from there.
Hi, Denise. Hi, Debbie. Kay asked how many times are you twisting each pipe cleaner? About 3 times, I think.
Because I'm not putting anything else in them, I'm twisting these 5.
5 times. Okay.
Yeah, I usually twist 5 when I'm ready to either cut them off or I'm not going to put anything else in these. So my intention is the poofs are technically done.
But she doesn't cut off the end of the twist ties. You'll see why
Yeah,
later.
so that's our first one.
Pearl, it's a 21-inch Deco mesh. You can get it from Craft Outlet or the Wreath Shop. She's had those for a while. It's a high foil. It's a 14-inch wreath frame form from Dollar Tree. And the poofs are 10 inches.
Good job.
And she's putting 5 poofs in each section.
Right. And then I'm securing them to the frame with a pipe cleaner between the 2 middle rails. So I'll flip this over in a second and show you. Number one, it makes a really cool pattern on the back side when you do it this way.
Hi, Kathy. Hi, Stana.
2, 3.
So there's 6 sections on this, so she should have a total of 30 poofs.
Yeah. So, and then they kind of fold on you in the middle because they're all bunching up, which is nice because it's going to create such a nice center to support the sign. It's actually going to fill it in. So if you flip it over and look, you can see my pattern. So I'm just doing it on the middle rails.
Right.
So color pattern looks cool.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it for another reason too. So
Hi, Shirley.
23. So it's just a matter of untangling it. It's almost like a puppet. You have to put your hands through the middle.
But that's really the best way to get the poofs really nice is to do that, though.
Yeah, because you want them even. You don't want to have like a high and low when you're looking at your wreath. You want everything the same height, the same thickness. And as you can tell, it's filling in the wreath, both in the middle and on the outside. And I think when I'm done, it's gonna be either 22 or 24 inches in diameter.
I think, yeah, it's about 24.
Yeah.
I think.
And it's definitely 6 inches high.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
I think more like 8.
It could be, but you can't really push it down too much. So it's definitely not a storm door wreath. And if you ever forget, just flip your wreath over like, how many did I just do in this section? Just flip it over and take a peek. And I just keep going until when I start to get to the section and it's harder to push it in, I know I'm getting close to my 5.
Thank you, Shirley. Says, hi, everyone. So glad to join you all.
Thank you, Shirley.
Thanks for joining, Shirley. Hi, Tricia. Hi, Carol. And then Melody Boatwright said, I love this. I've never seen this done.
The bubble?
Yeah.
You just gotta have patience with it. So you know you're doing it right if your poofs are the same size.
Yeah.
So don't worry about, and also same size kind of creates a uniform look on the outside as well. And it fills the middle. So when we go to lay our sign's gonna just lay right on that middle base. So this is super easy. It's super cost efficient for you and the customer. I'm trying to make sure my pipe cleaners stand up so they're easier for me to find.
Carol said, pretty. Kathy Reenerson said, I posted earlier today that I have booked a room for WML 2019.
Oh, Wreath Makers Live.
Yeah, if someone wants to share, let me know.
Awesome.
Thank you, Kathy.
Definitely is cost effective if you can share a room.
Yeah.
I think
Stan
this
said that
is
ribbon would look good on a candy cane wreath.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
this is
would.
my last one. It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just do a candy cane wreath because you could do Grinch colors.
Yep. And Shirley said, I love this method. It looks so nice.
It does. It's just like I said, it's time because you're not poofing. You don't have your ties already pre-formed on your wreath frame for you. You could zip tie. So if you're not into doing pipe cleaners, you can by all means zip tie them. You just won't have any room to put any embellishments in between your poofs by doing that. So now I'm going into my 3rd section.
Try to keep it in the center if you can.
I'm trying.
I know.
That's just the way I work though.
I know it moves that way.
It does. Okay. So, and then I'm trying to keep my colors. Red, white, green. Red, white, green.
Melody Dowd said, I love the poof method. Yeah.
How are you feeling, Melody? I haven't been on Facebook much today. What did we do today? We ran errands.
Yeah, we
went
ran
over
a lot
to
of
Big
errands.
Lots.
Yeah.
Because Big Lots had a sale on their Halloween was 90% off. Fall was 50% off.
Yeah.
And then Christmas is still regular price. So, and their prices are a little high.
Michelle, this is a 10-inch poof, so she's measuring our poofs at 10 inches.
I found that if I do it this way, I will have exactly enough to end
Yep.
right here at exactly 30. So if you think about it, this is a 30-foot roll.
Yep.
I'm doing 30 sections total, right? Not 30 seconds, 30 poofs at
30
10
poofs.
inches.
Yep.
So it should end perfectly.
Yep. And Debbie, there's 5 in each section, and there's 6 sections on this Dollar Tree 14-inch wreath form.
Yep.
No problem, Kay. She said, hate to go. We'll have to watch the replay for the end.
Yeah, no worries.
Stana says, fills up the wreath real good. Yep.
It really does.
Faye, well, not so much ribbon. This will take 1 full 21-inch Deco mesh roll.
Yeah. There's really no way to incorporate adding ribbon here, although when we did the Thanksgiving bubble, because I think I've done this for every holiday. I've already done this for Christmas, but the Christmas one sold already. So if you were adding lights to this, my recommendation would be wait till you get all your poofs done, and then just weave your lights in.
Yeah, probably between every 2 and 3. Right?
It's weird because you have such a depth to get down to the middle. I kind of like just lay mine in between.
Natalie says she's doing better. Melody says she's doing a little better.
Okay, a little.
Yeah, well, she just said better.
Okay,
Robin said this will be the next one I try to make.
this is fun. A lot of people, I think, when we showed them how to do this at Halloween, people were like, "I have to do this." I think I'll be doing this for Valentine's Day because I'm gonna try to do it on a heart-shaped form and see what happens.
Hi Marie. Hi Kathy. Hi Jackie. Friend Jackie is watching.
Jackie is watching. Okay. So I'm just double checking. 1, 2, 3. 2 more in this section.
Stana, we have a Big Lots up by us off of Palmdale Boulevard, just north of Costco.
What? Where's our Big Lots?
Yeah.
Right next to our Dollar Tree.
Yep, right next to the Dollar Tree.
So we took our kids out to breakfast this morning and then went over there just to see what they had.
Yeah.
Oh, we had to go to Dollar Tree to buy more bulbs for crafting. Because you can get a pack of bulbs for, you can get 10 bulbs, 1 inch, 1.5 inch.
Yeah, for $1.
For $1.
Yeah.
So.
Hi Debbie, she said first time watcher.
Where are you from, Debbie?
Debbie Benek. Welcome. Sharon gave a lovely smiley, like a heart face.
Aww.
Nancy, this is a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame.
Okay. So 1 more, and that will take
I'm
care
just
of.
recapping because some people came in late.
Okay.
Christine said, sorry I'm late, you sure already said this, but what size are the bubbles?
Okay, Steve can do the recap.
The bubbles are 10-inch, measured to 10-inch poofs, and then she pushed them together. There's 5 in each section for a total of 30.
I swear, I'm like,
Oh, what is that?
it's the edge.
Oh, gotcha.
It's just kind of following suit. I was like, what is this? It just came off the roll. The very, very edge.
The mesh is from either the wreath shop or the craft outlet online.
I think you can get them either where, but it's
Either
the
place.
high foil metallic.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure it's going to be a higher priced mesh. This will not be like a $6 or $7.
Yeah, this will probably be $10.
More like 12.
12. Yeah.
Yeah. Because number one, when you do high foil all the time, you get rid of that itchy feeling that the Deco mesh has.
Mm-hmm.
So now
Really?
we're jumping.
Really, she's placing the poofs. When she does the twist tie, she ties them between the second and the third rail in the middle. So maybe you could show her again. It's kind of hard to tell. Kind of
Okay.
hard to see.
I know, because we're capping it in.
Yeah.
Let me fluff this one out. Okay. Green. So I'm holding my poof right at exactly 10 inches. So I'm going to take my pipe cleaner. You have to make it to where I can actually work, babe.
I know.
We're putting it between the 2 middle sections, and then I'm just going to twist it 5 times. That's all I'm doing. So I gather 10 inches, fluff it out, like on the poof method. Okay, I have to have it back this way. You pull it out, and then you're just going to push it forward. So each section you do 1. You know, it doesn't matter where you're putting your pipe cleaner, and then you're just going to move them forward to where you have 5 in each section.
Hi Nancy. Donna said this is my favorite method. And then Pearl said, I think you said high foil mesh. Is this easy to find, and is it labeled high foil mesh?
I think it's called, number 1, you'll be able to tell by the price. So click on the image and make sure that this Deco mesh has foil, metallic foil through every single
Strand.
section.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll either be like premium or high foil.
Yeah, I think it's called premium metallic. So we just found that if you do a patterned mesh, it looks better than to do, make sure I'm in my right section. To do regular, like just plain red, plain green,
Gotcha.
plain white.
Debbie Benax, somewhat local. She's Orange County.
Really?
So, yeah, we're up in Victorville, Debbie.
That is local people.
Hi, Shelly. She said hi from Maryland, first time here. Welcome to the group.
Thank you. So, my group members, if you guys are watching and you are tagging these people that you know are new and they're giving you where they're from, make sure you reach out to them and maybe make a connection to form mini communities.
Nancy Militello. Sorry if I butchered that. It's Militello.
You probably
Said
do.
first time here. Will there be a video that I can go back and watch the whole thing?
On this one, yes. So as soon as we finish, it'll go into replay mode, but sometimes the easiest way to find the videos, because they get buried with everybody else posting stuff, is to go to my YouTube channel, which is KatsCreationsNMore, and you can find all the videos that I've done for the public.
We try to post it once we're done with the video within 24 hours, so it should be up within about a day or so.
We try.
Try.
Yeah. I think we're a little bit behind when we have the wedding. Ugh.
Oh, Gail said, can I have a decent stash of heart frames and some spiral red ribbon if you need me to send you some? Thank you, Gail.
Gail Shelia?
Yeah.
My dad called me today, so I have a feeling I know what it's about. Probably to tell me that he got your...
The lettering.
Yeah, the numbers you did for him. And that they probably look great, but I don't know why she sent me so many. I told him it's because if you fat finger it and mess up, you can't call me back and ask me to tell her to make you some more.
Yep.
So,
Francine said, so beautiful. Ruth said, this method and color you're using is stunning. I love the work you do.
thank you. So our goal is to, like I said, it just looks like, what do they call it? Like a bud cake almost is what we're doing. Yeah, it's like a Deco mesh bud cake.
Yep. So there's 5 poofs in each section, and then she's pushing the poofs in towards each other to get it 5 in each section.
Yeah, I really make sure that they're all undone. Like you don't want them folded over so that you have like, you're making it like a fan almost.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll push it in on your section with your pipe cleaner and then move it forward.
Yep.
And when you get down to that last section, it's challenging because you have very little space to work with, because you're dealing with the Deco mesh from here and as it comes around. So as you notice, my workspace is getting smaller and smaller. And I'm trying to keep my pipe cleaners relatively even. 4, 5. So making sure it's all poofed out. Push it forward.
When she's done too, she'll show you the back. It looks really nice and uniform.
Yeah, sometimes when you do really nice patterns on the back, you would not want to cover it. Number one, I don't think that there's much to cover because you're just gonna have your wire wreath frame and then everything looks so nice. Okay. See how I'm a messy person? I moved to this direction. I don't know why.
It's not messy, it's just because that's where you're pushing the poof towards, and that's why.
I don't know why.
It's sliding a little bit on the craft mat.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'll blame it on the craft mat.
There you go.
It's moving. You could probably put it on a yoga mat and that would work. Wow. 4, 5. Making sure it all fans out. Push it forward. So as you can see the back, this is actually coming through. Let me find this. It's one of the ones that my pipe cleaners are up. So let me get rid of the string that never ends. There we go. So this is the back design you're getting. So it's, as you can tell, that it's filling the middle really, really nice.
Yeah.
So I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into my last section now. So every once in a while, if you're not sure where you're at, just double check. Ugh. And here's my last most challenging section. And I'm actually seeing my roll lift up off the floor.
Yep. And you really don't want to go any more than 10 inches because you probably end up being short.
Yeah, you would end up being very short.
You could do 8 or 9 or 10.
You could and just go smaller.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure you have enough to extend to the outside.
Yep.
So like this whole outside is completely covered. Like we don't have to worry about seeing the wreath frame. And the nice thing about this method is it's very thick, full, and plush. So push, pull my pipe cleaners up. That way they're they're easier to find. I try to just move them to the outside. So as you can see, my space is getting smaller. So I'm just gonna do it
Give it
this
some likes,
way.
give it some loves.
It's easier just at this stage of the game instead
Any
of
other
trying
questions?
to pull, to just measure to my elbow. Because we know that my elbow is my 10-inch marker for me. Oops. Taking this. 1, 2. Trying to make sure my bread is stacking pretty neatly on the inside.
Susan said it's pretty mesh. Valerie said hi. Hi, Valerie.
In.
Dora, no, the pipe cleaner she does not cut. She only twist ties them about 5 times, and then she'll show you why at the end she doesn't cut them.
Yeah. Just because we were challenged in this method, people would just make it, throw a bow and a sign on it, and call it done. And people were like, isn't there anything that we can do to embellish that? And I kind of figured out a way that we could. There's 2 different methods you could use. So I'll show you what we're gonna do and then what you can do. But the other method, I would only recommend doing it with a solid ribbon, I think.
Trish, yeah, you can share. This is on the public group, so anytime the video pops up that's in the public group, just on regular Cats Creations, then you can share.
Yep.
Yep. And then Pearl, yes, Cat does lives every Friday
At 5.
at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
We're even gonna do it on Black Friday, but Black Friday, I think in my Etsy shop, I think Steve and I were talking, is I'm gonna actually run a Black Friday sale
Yeah.
in my shop.
You're 228.
So, look, this is about where I'm at right now. So I think I have like 2 poofs left. So I have this one.
And then on Sundays, Pearl, she does her private group.
Yeah. Which, I don't know, guys. We're almost getting to the end of Christmas. I know it sounds difficult. We haven't even started Thanksgiving yet. But for us in crafting, we should be looking at moving on. So,
Hi, Julie. Yes, well, Stan had said before she found us, who she's local, said someone put you in our group here in Pinion Hills, and that's how I found you.
how interesting. You have to share me your group.
Yeah.
Because I don't know Pinion Hills. It's not that far from us.
Hi, Diane. She said hello from California. She sounds new too.
What part of California?
Yes.
We have
Diane
members.
Hazlitt.
What?
Well, yeah, I just said her last name because there's a couple Dianes on here.
Okay. 4, 5. Again, it's getting tighter.
Roxanne says I made a few with that method and I love them.
It makes an amazing wreath.
Yeah, Angela said this mesh is really stunning. It is really pretty.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take it off of the roll because it gets pretty awkward slinging the roll around.
Yep.
So
Kim said I've never seen this method done before. Love it, so pretty. It's been around for a while. A lot of crafters and
not many
wreathers.
people, like when
About
I was
6
doing
months.
wreaths last year, nobody did this.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody was doing like poof, curls, and ruffles. That was it. Nobody was making anything different than that. So this is my last one. So here's my 10 inches. So I'll probably have this much left. So, I don't know, I guess it just depends on how it's rolled on the wreath, but let me make sure I have all my pieces where they need to be.
Melissa says she's making a poof wreath using 10-inch mesh, using 6 poofs per section.
And what size wreath frame, Mel? Because somebody was asking about that.
Yep, Lisa said hello from Cincinnati. That's a beautiful Christmas.
Look at my workspace. This is really where I'm at right now. I have just enough space
To do the last one.
to put this in, and then
You might as well just make it.
it is my last poof.
Yep.
Yeah. It is my very last one, but then you've got to take it and you've got to bring that, the remnant all the way through to the other side and secure it. This is called the non-unravel. What do they call it? I'm like totally like at a brain loss today.
Well, it doesn't.
frame.
Non-frame
Non-frame.
because you use all one piece. You don't cut it.
And the ends are
At
all
all.
finished.
Yep.
And every section has a high foil metallic in it. So right here, this is what I have left. Just this little hideous piece. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually going to feed it through to the other side and pull that all the way through.
Barbara said pretty. Trisha said great done. Thanks for sharing, gals. Thanks for sharing, Trisha. Hi, Jeannie. She said hello from Michigan.
Just trying to shove it all in there.
Pearl, no, she doesn't really do alerts. So just a lot of people just know she does Friday lives.
Yeah, it's
5
always
p.m.
Friday
Pacific
night, live at 5.
Yeah.
So I'm grabbing my last pieces. So here's my ends. This is exactly what I had left of my 21-inch roll.
There's another Diane Park saying first time here. That's beautiful.
Thank you,
So
Diane.
both Dianes, let us know where you're from.
Okay, so looking at this, these are all my little pieces.
Diane Hazlitt and
What am I doing?
Diane Parks.
Okay, remember how I told you that we secured it right here? So like it's ending at the exact spot. So I'm going to take my other zip tie. I'm gonna go ahead and get it started so it's easier. I'm gonna do it through the cross beam so it prevents it from moving. So I'm just gonna lay this down right next to the other one. So I'm doing it to the middle. I guess you'd call it number 2. There we go. So I'm gonna snip this off. And then all this mess is getting cut off. So I'm gonna take this all the way down to where we have it.
You're just
Zip
gonna
tied.
leave like 2 inches.
I try not to
an
even
inch.
leave that like that. There's my little fuzzy mess.
Yep.
So again, with your zip ties, rather than have them out to where they can catch on the customer's door, just kind of push them around. So this is what it looks like on the back. So you have all these really nice color coordinated pipe cleaners going around all your sections. And then this is what it looks like from the front. This is all we have left. We use that entire roll all the way through. So no light shines through. So it is that thick, that fluffy,
And fluffy.
that bubbly. Yeah. Oops, I totally forgot to bring my trash can over. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to attach my sign. So my sign is going to go right here on the middle part of my wreath. So it's got a nice base created for it. We're gonna put our bow up here because there's not much else you can embellish this wreath with. You can't come in here and do ribbons and what is it, ribbon tails, ribbon bows, add some embellishments here and there, and it's not
Right.
meant to be. So
Right. The bubble is kind of the star of the show on this one.
Yeah.
The bubble and
there's
the
some
sign.
people who just leave it like this and add a bow and it's fine. You can do that. So to add our sign, like I said, this was hand painted from Shelia Thompson. What's her last name?
Ratsiopi.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
to find her on Facebook, it's under ChalkItAll backslash or forward slash ChalkItAll.
ChalkItAll.
Yeah.
Or ChalkItAll Chalkateur, right?
So she makes these and then she coated this with the polyurethane so that it's weatherproof if somebody wanted to leave it outside and helps it to prevent it from fading. So it is a 1/4 inch thick, which is perfect.
I think it's a 10-inch, right? 10-inch sign?
Yeah. It's like a 10-inch round.
Yep, 10-inch.
Yeah, so here's 10. Well, I'm measuring it on the wrong side. But I attach my business card just so the customer always has it present. As you can see, it doesn't matter what color pipe cleaner because we're going to be attaching it from the back. So whichever one you have the most of. I'm just going to do white, form it in a little U shape, like so.
Kathy, no, we're not near the fires at all. We're down in Southern California, a little bit more inland, so.
We have no fires by
no
us.
fires. Robin, yeah, she likes to use the foil deco mesh. You can use premium, but even the premium, you want it to be a high foil.
And it's funny because when I glued my sign on, my sign was, my business card was not straight,
Oh,
which
that's
is
right.
something I generally don't boof on,
Hey,
but
Don.
we're gonna fasten it with the staples. So I have a Power Shot, Black & Decker, Home Depot, Lowe's,
Staple
Sears,
gun. Yep.
whatever. And we're just gonna pop in a staple on each side,
Shouldn't
like
go
so.
through.
No.
And they're just 1/4 inch staples, so.
Yeah, no more than 1/4 inch. So there's my one secure point. So knowing that that is my straight, even though my business card's off. Let me make sure. There's this one. So I'm gonna do the same thing. The reason why I like the staple gun is because you can put your weight on the actual handle so I'm not squeezing. So it's really nice for people who have arthritis, because you can just push down instead of pulling up. So there is how I secured my sign. I'm good to go. I don't really need to worry about which part of my wreath is the ugly part. So I'm just going to attach my sign, which is going to be, I'm just going to drop it down into the middle for now, so it's easy for me to flip it over and feed it through.
Diane said I live in a small town, Cayucos, about 45 minutes from San Luis Obispo. It's a small beach town. Oh, that must be really beautiful out there.
I bet it is.
Yeah. Janet said, oh my gosh, beautiful.
Okay, I seriously need to go around. I keep finding where I started, and like that doesn't help, so I'm going to go this way. And because when I'm feeding it down in between a section of my poofs, I'm finding that big wad on both sides where I stopped. So it's just gonna go down between your poofs.
Yep, Nancy, so if it's 5 o'clock Pacific our time, Michigan, if you're in Central Time, it would be 7. If you're on Eastern Time, it would be 8.
So I'm trying to feed this down and moving the other pipe cleaners out of the way.
Hi, Lisa. She said, first time from Corpus Christi. Love watching this. Love watching you. First time watching you.
Thank you. Okay.
Diane, it's a 14-inch wreath frame. And I know one of the gals said earlier that they thought the sign was so big it took up what looked like most of the frame. But now when you look at it, it fits in perfectly.
Yeah. So I'm trying to feed. It keeps getting hung up on the foil.
Yeah, the sign says, meet me under the mistletoe, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm just going to lightly attach to make sure. And I'm not going to compress it. I mean, I guess you could.
Just a little bit further,
Maybe a touch. So I'm just trying to feed these down.
yeah. It needs to go over a touch to the right. Yeah, like right there.
But when you look at it from the center, I have to make sure it's centered here.
I'm sure you can probably center it once you get it tightened.
Easier said than done. Okay, so there's one. So I'm trying to feed these down in between the sections. Okay, don't bend.
Oh, Stan says she went and looked at the group. It's called just Pinion Hills, California.
Really? Okay. 2, 3, 4.
Hi, Vicky. She said Breadbook,
5.
Texas here. Denise, it just depends. We're not using the Mevo, so it might be a little bit harder to hear, but it just depends on the device you're using. Some gals can hear fine, others can't. So
I'm gonna kind of just let it poof out just a touch so it sits just down a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Diane, yes, there's 5 poofs, first section, 6 sections, so there's 30 poofs total.
So that's what it looks like
Yeah.
for now. So believe it or not, the sign is not that big. You can go smaller in the sign, but you want stuff to fit in the center. I'm trying to think of I think we almost did 12-inch rounds too before that
Probably
fit in
no
the
smaller
center.
than a 6
Exactly.
or an 8. Probably no smaller than an 8.
Yeah, because you don't want it to be so far that it goes way inside your wreath and it gets lost. Okay, so we're gonna do a bow for the top. The colors that I picked out are this 2.5 inch. This came from Hobby Lobby. This 1.5 inch that came from Hobby Lobby, so you can tell the color palettes are perfect match. This Harlequin print, which came from Shinoida. which is a local wholesaler out here in Southern California. So it's SHINODA, wholesaler.
So it's actually close to that Debbie, because that Debbie who was new.
She's in Orange
She's in
County.
Orange County, and Shinoda is down there in Santa Ana.
But you can only shop if you have a business license.
Right.
So, and then there's the red, white, and green. It's like the one that has the little squigglies and circles. This came from Craft Outlet. So 1.5, 1.5, 2.5, 2.5. So we're gonna use the 2.5 as our base, and then come up on our bows with the 1.5 inch. So I'm using my Bow Dabra. You could use your Pro Bow. It would just take me too long to show you how to do it on a Pro Bow.
Shelia, on this one we'd probably ship in a 24 by 24 by 6 inch box.
I would. Let me see what it measures right now. So at the widest possible spot, it's 22. So you could ship in a 22, because look, you can really bring the sides in if you had to.
Right.
But if you put it in a 22-inch box on the diagonal, it's going to be a little bit bigger. So
Yeah,
it'll be okay.
But yeah, it does have to at least be 6 inches. So 22 by 22 by 6, you were right.
Yeah. So we are going to start, this is going to be the base of our bow, and then we're going to come in with this, then add this, and then end off with our squiggly.
Mary Bazan said, finally able to see you. Been having problems to get live. Welcome, Mary.
Okay, so to do your dovetail cut, this is going to benefit your Christmas in a great way. You're going to bring your wired edge. I always use wire edge ribbon. Very rarely do I ever use non-wired, unless we're doing like the angel tree toppers, the 1.5 or half inch, not half inch. Is it half inch? 5/8 inch or 7/8 inch ribbon doesn't come wired. So you bring your wired edges together, and then you're going to cut from the folded side to the wired side edge on a diagonal like so, and then it makes your perfect dovetail cut. So no more cutting in and then cutting in and trying to do the perfect cut. So knowing that I don't want my tails to lap over too much, probably gonna leave my tails about here because I don't want to hide the meat part. So might even do it this way, I don't know. Tails are going to be 8-inch tails. So that's probably gonna bring me down to about a 5-inch loop. So to use the Bow Dabra, it's all gonna be about the twist. So we're gonna twist so that we have right side fabric this way, wrong side fabric this way. So when we come up and go over, we have the right side fabric on the outside. So I always turn it, it's just something that I've done. So it's going to be twist and push it back in, and then I can measure using my cutting mat and making sure this lines up right at the 5-inch mark.
Yeah, I think I told you, yes, there's 5 poofs per section. Kathy Knapp actually said, have you ever heard of jelly ribbon?
I have heard of it. I think, when did I think at summertime, I think, is when we started to hear people go, have you ever heard of jelly ribbon? And I was like, what's jelly ribbon? So when we got off, we were like, let's Google jelly ribbon.
I don't remember what it was.
I think it has like different patterns through it. So we're doing 5-inch loops, 2 on each side. So remember, it's always twist. Then put it back in. I usually pull on it to make sure they're both the same size. Once you get the measurements at the very bottom, so just spin it around and twist.
We got Lucian, gorgeous, love it. Angela said, Angela's bonus said, love this method, the wreath is gorgeous. KDS said, just got here, how many rolls of 21-inch did you use? Just one.
One, believe it or not.
And the poofs are 10-inch poofs. And there's 5 in each section, and the wreath frame has 6 sections, so there's 30 poofs total.
So we dovetail both ends. It just creates a more finished look for our bow on the tails. So once again, yes, this would make a very cute Grinch wreath, but keep in mind, unless you hold the trademark or licensing legally, you cannot sell it as a Grinch wreath. So just keep those things in mind when you're thinking about talking about what you've just made.
And Cindy, we normally always get our boxes from Amazon. They ship in either packages of 10, sometimes 20.
The 18-inch ones come in quantity 25.
25, okay.
Yeah. And then same thing with the 16, like I love, there's a 20 by 20 by 6. That's a really nice quantity, but I think it's again 20. So I'm measuring out my
And the
8
22
inches.
by 22 by 6 and a 24 by 24 by 4, but I don't know, we might go up to 6 too.
We've done the
Yeah.
quality of the boxes you get when you order them from Amazon on the 24 by 24 by 6 are better than the ones you get when you order 24 by 24 by 4.
By 4, yeah.
The
For whatever
costs
reasons,
to
yeah.
ship are exactly the same. So take the better quality box.
And Kittius, the mesh you can get, this is a high foil mesh you can get from Craft Outlet or the Reach Shop.
Or just if you're gonna go local, it's always good if you're gonna do a bubble method to find something with a pattern in it. It just comes out really nice rather than just pick like a plain green or plain red. It just looks nicer if you have a pattern. So again, it's just pulling it out, making sure my loop sizes are the same.
Hi Arlene. Pat said, love your designs.
Twist.
Oh, Nancy Wilcox said the jelly ribbon is made from material like the old jelly shoes. They're rubbery.
Oh,
Is
okay.
that it?
Could be. So I'm kind of just eyeballing it and making my 8 inches. So I'm done with my 2.5 inch. So dovetail cut again. You can always tell you're doing it wrong if there's resistance on your scissors when you're attempting to begin. You're on the wired side. You need to flip it over and do it the other way. Otherwise you're gonna have a point and not a bow. So make sure that's there. And then we're doing, I always called this my Grinch ribbon. This and this were my Grinch ribbons last year. Yeah, but these, the whole color palette is definitely Grinchy. So we'll dovetail cut. And because these are 5, I'm going to do my 1.5 inch loops at 4 inches. And I'm going to do the tails at 6. So when they come in, they're going smaller as we get to the middle. And then once you get your base down with your measurements, you can just go pretty quick.
And your bottom ribbon, how long are the loops? How tall?
5.
5?
8 inch tails, 5 inch loops.
And then you're going a little bit smaller on the 1.5 inch.
6 inch tails, 4 inch loops. Okay, so bringing them in. So now that I've got my base measurement done, it goes really quick. So you just take them, twist. I put my fingers in the loopholes and pull because it's easier for me to gauge that they're the same. Here we go, it's always the twist. It's always gonna be about the twist. So there's that.
It's all about that twist.
Right.
Tina asked, where did you buy your bow maker?
I bought mine at Hobby Lobby because I was able to use my 40% off coupon, but you can get them at Walmart, Joann's, Michael's, Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby.
Use
You
the coupon.
might be able to use them online.
Yep. Their typical prices are about $15 to $16. If you get it at Hobby Lobby or at Joann's, you can try to use like a 40% off coupon.
Or
It's
now,
called
I
the
think,
it's called the Bodabra.
well now at Joann's and Michael's, I think all of their Christmas is like, it's either 50% or 60% off, and then you can use your total percent off coupon. There we go. Gotta love the tape. Okay, so we're gonna cut the beginning part off. This is very thick. It's like a canvas ribbon. So
You're welcome, Tina.
we are cutting, and then once again doing our 6 inch tails, twist. It's always going to be about the twist. And then if you ended your tail on this side, you're going to start on the opposite side. And then because we've already got that base established, we're just going to use one of our Grinchy Merry Christmas ribbons and make sure that our loop sizes on this, here's our twist, push it through. No, they're the same size. So here, twist.
Hey, Sheila's on.
Sheila's the person who did our sign. Sheila made me my sign.
Sheila, she'll show you here in a second.
Well, Sheila, now you can put your link to your Facebook shop or how people can buy your sign.
Yeah, Sheila, go ahead and put your link up.
Absolutely. So if people want to order a sign from you, they can. So I'm putting your signs to work. Sheila was nice enough to send me some, so I'm going to make some.
I'll
Okay.
take a guess. Michelle said your hubby is such a nice guy and so helpful to you and the rest of us.
So see, here's exactly how our ribbon is made. So we're going to take the little insert that goes right down the middle, and it's going to compress our ribbons. Don't push too hard because you can press hard enough to snap your ends off. Just enough to put tension on it. Basically, it's just squishing all your ribbons together. Find a suitable color for your ribbons. And then we're going to bring this up like so. Here's all that compacted ribbon. So I usually kind of hold it this way. So when I take my U-shaped pipe cleaner, I usually just go right through the middle, just like so. And then you can twist. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's our ribbon. It's beautiful. Looks great.
And she's going to use the wreath as a fluff box.
Yeah, this is going to be my fluff box. So I'm just going to feed this down so I can actually secure it to my wreath base. So let me get it down there. So I'm going to try to pull one of my inner rings in.
Sheila said, can't wait to see your wreath. This is your sign that meets you under the mistletoe.
Yep. So I'm going to flip this upside down so I can actually see what's happening. So
I know it's hard to find and poke in.
well, because that's where I have the sign. But I'm trying to go one up from there. So there we go. Yeah, when it gets this thick, nothing wants to move. So I'm going to secure my ribbon, then I'm going to pull it away. And then start the fluffing process, which is starting on the outside. We're going to pull our ribbons.
Thanks,
so we'll start
Sheila.
here.
She just posted her link up.
Store?
Yep.
Thank you. It's just easier because Sheila knows, okay, here's exactly where I need people to
Yeah,
go.
so it's facebook.com/ChalkItAll/.
Exactly. This one seems a little long. I might trim that one.
And then she said, oh my gosh, I love this.
Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna take them and pull. Once you've got your ribbons secured in there pretty good, you can give them a really good tug and then go back through. Make sure your ribbon are going in between.
And our old friend Lourdes is watching.
Really?
Lourdes person. Hi, Lourdes.
Okay, so we're pushing. So we're gonna pull these ones apart. Pull these ones back down. Remember, we're trying really hard not to. If our bow starts to get in the way, I'm gonna pull it in the opposite direction and probably pull the ties someplace else, like this. Make it come back around so we can see our sign. And then we continue to fluff everything else. So you can have your tails come to the back, to the side. So I'm working on one side at a time.
Kathy Fazio said beautiful.
Thank you,
Shanna
Kathy.
said so pretty.
Now I'm gonna flip it this way. I'm gonna keep pulling this around so it doesn't interfere with my sign. That's the challenging part, right? Making sure it doesn't mess with the sign.
Oh wow, Sheila said my oldest daughter is having contractions 4 minutes apart.
That means she's gonna be a grandma soon.
Yeah, hope everything's going well and she's able to deliver smoothly. And then she's been watching her 3-year-old granddaughter, so she's been missing in action lately.
Hey, family first.
Yep.
Everything else, it's on replay. That's what I say. Gotta do what you gotta do first. So, have most of my tails tucked in the back, so I'm just gonna pull a couple of them around. Fluff, fluff, fluff. Again, we don't want to impact our sign, but if we need to move the bow back, we can just yank it this way. So I'm gonna move these around a little bit. The whole thing. Okay. There we go. So I'm gonna look at it from my point of view, because I'll probably see a giant hole in there that I can fill with the ribbon, which I can, but not enough to cover the sign. So it's always difficult working at it that way, looking at it from the back, when you can pull the front part around a little bit more, just like so. Keeping my sign free and clear. Okay, now I told you that there's a way that you can embellish this. This is where most people will stop. Some people won't even add the sign. They'll just put the bow on the top and be done. There's two ways that you can embellish it. One way, if you want to add ribbon, is to do what you basically would start your ribbon in one of your poofs, secure it to the bottom of your frame, and maybe count every third, and then add a ribbon and use your pipe cleaners that you have secured, twist your ribbon to the bottom, and then just keep going around. Like add another 3 and go this way, so that you can technically go all the way around and embellish it with ribbon. But this is where I was saying, don't go busy. Just go something like just a neutral green, a neutral white, or just red to kind of, you know, tone it down a little bit so it's not so busy. But that's what you can do to kind of add ribbon, more ribbon to it. But I found a simple way to do it is just to take these things, which have a ton of different names. Basically, it all boils down to the same thing. They're just styrofoam balls. I'm doing red, white, and green. And so the green either comes in green by itself, which is more of a Kelly green color, like
This is, yeah.
like this, look, grabbed brown. Like this color green. So it's not the true limey color that we're pulling. Or you can use the ones that you had left over from Thanksgiving, which came in this section, and use the green for it. So knowing that I had my pipe cleaners color coded, you can either use those as your color codes, or you can mix it up. So I'm just going to start here. So on the white, I'm going to add green. So you're going to put 2 balls of green here. And this is what's nice, is because you have the pipe cleaners, you can move them in any position to go up or down. So here's my next one. It's on the red, so I'm going to go white. And this one actually has different sizes. So here is my white. And I can bring this one down. And then on the green, I'm going to go red. So it's just a way to add some fun to this. It's definitely a task you can give your kids to do.
And they just push right into the end of the pipe cleaner.
They really do.
That's why she doesn't cut her ends off on this.
On this one,
Yep.
yeah. If you don't want these on there, then you can cut them off. If you want to add the ribbon, again, it's a good opportunity because you left your pipe cleaners in place. You can use those to kind of tag onto your ribbon and hold your ribbon down to the frame, because we know that this went all the way down to the frame. And as you can see, I can just move them wherever I want them to go. Yeah, I can move them really close to my sign. I can take this one and move it way down at the bottom, towards the middle, and you just keep on going all the way around. So I have a little one. Here's my big one. So some of these come in 2 different sizes, and some just come in one standard size. So obviously if you have one that's a little longer, you can cut it down. And then add your green. But let me try to pop these on pretty quick. What I do when I'm doing this by myself is I will punch the hole in the ball and then I'll pull it back off like this, hold it in my hand, take my glue gun, low temperature. So if you don't have a dual temperature glue gun, get one, because you can put it on low temperature because it's just enough to glue your little styrofoam ball to the end without scalding you with a 3rd degree burn, and then you're throwing your glue balls wherever you need them to go. So dual temperature, you can get it at Hobby Lobby. You can buy it, you can order it online through Amazon if you want. Mine's just, oh, Gail's watching. So, Gail, this does not have a brand name on it at all. So,
I think it's still a Surebonder.
Do you think so?
Yeah, they have Surebonders and they have a couple other ones, but I think it was a Surebonder.
I don't know. I told Gail.
Christina, her link was posted up above. Sheila might be able to copy it and repaste it again.
So here we go. So this just makes a fun little thing, and it's great if you have kids that want to help. So this is the perfect thing for them to do, is just say, hey, go around, and on all the white ones, you're going to attach little green balls, and all the...
Pearl said, this is utterly awesome. Sure have enjoyed this tonight. Great teamwork, and thank you for answering all my questions.
Absolutely.
And all the hints.
That's what we're here for, right?
Christina, Sheila made this sign, and she can post her link again. It's ChalkItAll
Yep. She
on Facebook.
She made that. So this is not a store-bought sign. And then I just verified that these were coded so that when we post about them or list them on our Etsy page, we can say, hey, it has been sprayed with a clear coat that will help it last during
Sheila
the
said
weather.
that's exactly what the wreath needed for the finishing touch, the little
The
fillers.
little balls, right?
Yeah, and they're called fillers and scatters. You can get it from Hobby Lobby.
Well, this one says bowl and vase filler.
Yeah.
This one says, that's why I said they all have different names. This is scatters and fillers. And then there's some that are just styrofoam balls.
Yep.
But when you boil it down to, that's all they are, is little balls with styrofoam on them. So.
Hi Kathy, yeah, she's on Friday is her public group. It's Friday night live at 5 on Pacific time, so it's 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, every Friday. And then she's on her private group, she's on Sundays.
Yeah. And then that'll change as of the first of the year. We'll go back to our business classes, because then it's going to be, okay, now what? Okay, great.
Oh, thank you, Diane. She said, I've seen some of your work on YouTube. It's beautiful and you do nice work.
Thank you. We try.
Yeah, you're really starting to get a pretty good following on YouTube. Really good.
I know. I have to go over there and at least, tell people, because most people find me on YouTube but don't know that I'm on Facebook. Yeah. So I've been going over there answering their questions and saying, hey, come join me, watch me live. So that way, if you have a question, you can actually answer or ask the question live and get the answer. Mm-hmm. You don't have to wait for me to get around to looking at it and posting it. So we're almost finished.
And Christina, Sheila just commented below so you can see her link. It's her Facebook page.
Yep. Okay, so white. I'm like, red goes white, green goes red.
Hi Nancy. Nancy Cornerchuck's on.
Hi Nancy. So we're almost going around. Red. I'm like, green gets red. So you can bring these any length of that of the flesh. So you can actually occupy it all the way around. And it doesn't take that much.
Thank you, Cheryl. She said, Kat is wonderful, such a great teacher. Her private group is awesome. Both designs and businesses training. Both she and Steve are so helpful.
And we're starting our book club. What is it? It goes back December. So we're voting on books. So our book choices are, what are we doing? Traveler's Gift. Oop, I
Oh,
put
girl,
white.
watch your face, huh?
Let me make sure. White gets green. Okay. Then
Mary
red
said
is
this
white.
is so pretty. Enjoyed watching you do this.
And there's something satisfying about pushing all the little balls on your thing. So if you have a lot of stress and frustration, just pushing all those little ornamentations.
Hi Trisha again. It's funny she was on Treasures by Trisha. Now it's Trisha Allen.
Oh yeah, because you can go either way.
Yeah.
Okay, so red is green. So I'm just going around and finishing up and adding these. White. Oop, here's my green. So green. Green
No
is
problem,
red.
Izzy.
What's up?
She said hi Kat and Steve Staffer, but she realized wrong Steve.
Oh,
Smith.
okay. And then white.
Oh, then Trisha popped back in. Treasures by Trisha. LOL.
White is green,
You
not
try to trick us?
red. I had the wrong colors. This is where trying to keep your pipe cleaners handy in the middle makes things a lot easier when you go in to add all your styrofoam balls. But you don't have to do this color combination. You can just sit here and pick random different colors.
Yep.
And back to this.
So all the new gals who've been on first time watching today, there's a lot of other crafters on here, like Trisha, Nancy, all sorts of crafters that are here that help each other. It's a super great public group and private group.
Ah, see, here's another one of those ones that worked its way to the middle. So one more, and again, you don't have to go every single section.
Tanya said the wreath is super pretty.
Thank you.
Sheila said, I think we need a live with Steve making a wreath and Kat chatting to us.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
We've done it before in the past.
So see, like these, if you don't like where they're placed or you don't like the length, you can either cut them down, move them down.
Or just push them in.
Yeah, just push them anywhere you want them to go. And then let me put these away so they don't all roll all over my floor. Become unique cat toys for my cats. So this is what it looks like, everyone. This is what we created. Just one roll of Deco mesh, a little bit of ribbon, a sign, and some styrofoam balls. So this is it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so let me show you what it looks like size-wise on the door. See, just because you guys don't believe me, it's a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath ring. So yes, you can make wreaths jumbo size and just make them as big and full as you need them to be. Okay, so this one, make sure I get it in the right area. So there you go. Oops. See now if the bow hangs down, just pull it up. Because it's in one of those little grooves. It's in one of these grooves, so just pull it back. So it's all done.
Yep.
What do you guys think? Super simple. Like I said, it's tedious, but the end result looks like, wow, you put a ton of time and effort into that. This is one roll of Deco mesh, but it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And it's an alternative to the Pouf method, but if you haven't mastered the regular Pouf method, this might pose an issue. So it's all about being perfect on your Poufs and making sure they're all stacked like loaves that, it's like monkey bread or whatever it is, where they're all just perfect all the way around. So.
Diane, yeah, she toggled between the pipe cleaners every other one. So she went green, white, red, green, white, red, green, white, red.
If you look at the back, see, this is my back.
Yep.
So you can actually see that I did them, and then it just became a color code for adding the balls to the front. So, make sure it hangs on its frame.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, what questions do you guys have that I can answer for you? The price point for something like this for me.
You can move in a little bit, like 17. There you go. Right there.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay. So the price point on something like this is around $60 to $65. Maybe depending upon the amount of ribbon you use, you might want to go a little bit higher, like 70 if you're using, I don't know, a velvet or an embellished thing. But this would look super cute if you did it in a candy cane pattern and did one all in peppermint, or there's so many different variations, but don't get sucked into just doing plain green, plain red, plain white. Mix it up and use a pattern, because when you look at it, like those of you that looked at it at the beginning and said, I just kind of don't see where you're going with that, it looks a lot nicer once you stack them all together.
There's a little bit of a glare on the sign, but you can see it better now.
Okay.
So
Very
a
cool.
lot of the gals are saying love it, love it.
Cool.
Barbara said, gorgeous cat, you're definitely a perfectionist. Love all your wreaths.
I am.
She is.
To my own detriment. Like I said, even being, you know, truthfully honest with the customer, saying, yes, I have a whole bunch of primitive country rustic ribbon, but could I put 4 of those together and come up with a palette that I like? The answer was no, which means that I can send you the picture, but I would hate for a customer to pick these 4 colors. I make the tree topper bow the way that I think she likes it, send it to her and have her hate it. If I don't like it, I don't want it to go out the door. That's just my personal preference. And yes, I have taken a wreath down that if for some reason something happens, like I'm noticing the Deco mesh just is unraveling or something, I will totally take the whole wreath apart and redo the whole thing so that it goes back out the way that I want.
Yep.
It's my name out there, it's my reputation, so I want to make sure that my customers are getting good quality products, but not breaking their bank either.
And Cynthia must have come on late. She said, what method is this?
It's the bubble wreath.
Bubble method.
So it's like doing poofs, but they're
Pushed together.
pushed together. So it's called bubble.
Yeah.
So somebody had asked us about that in the summer and asked if we could teach how to do that. So it was like, okay, go figure it out and come back, break it down and teach it.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Kitty, the sign is a 10-inch round. That's pretty perfect. I think you could go 10 or 12. 8 might be a little small. I wouldn't go any smaller than 8. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. If you guys don't have any questions, Sunday group, I will see you at 5 in my private group. If you're interested in joining my private group, it is $17 a month. You get access to my entire library. You get business classes from opening your Facebook business page. What is it? Etsy, how to get your Etsy shop open. Pinterest, Instagram training so that you can market all of your products for free, because you don't want to just put it on Etsy and that's where it sits. So if that's what's happening to you, you're making wreaths sitting on Etsy and nothing's selling, it's probably not going to until you find a way to drive traffic into your shop.
The bubbles, the bubbles of the poofs are 10 inches on a 14-inch wreath frame. There's 5 poofs per section. There's 6 sections. There's a total of 30 poofs all the way around.
Perfect.
And yes, Shay, we'll post this video after. It'll be on YouTube, and then it'll also be on replay on our regular group.
Probably on YouTube tomorrow, because it'll take us a while to upload it, but look for it on YouTube tomorrow. If you're interested in the private group, like I said, just go message me, let me know you're interested in the private group. I'll send you the link. Like I said, not only do you get all my private tutorials, which is everything from February all the way through and continues all the way through. So if you think about that from a wreath tutorial perspective, most people spend about $20 for a single wreath tutorial. So you get a lot. I haven't even counted how many wreath tutorials we've put in the private group. A lot. And then you get discounts from all of our vendors and what else? Materials list for everything. So like if you joined late and you want to know how to do this, we post materials lists. So all the SKU numbers, item numbers, links of the ribbon, the Deco mesh, everything you need to know to go online and then order it yourself.
Yep.
Okay.
Kitty said, what size is the sign? It's 10 inches.
10-inch round.
And then Gail Mignon said, would any other type of sign work, or should it just be round?
No, you can do anything. Can you do me a favor and go in the craft room and grab the trick or treat black and white one? I'll show you one that we did with a, I want to say it's a rectangle. sign. I think that's the only Pouf we have left. Is it there? Yeah, okay. And it was the same method that we did. So we've done, what do you call it? 8 by 10 rectangle ones. So this is like one that we did at Halloween. So it's just done with this regular sign. So it just depends on what you want. It doesn't have to be a round, it can be a rectangle. I've done them where it's a subway sign, so more like license plate size, like a 8 by 12, right down the middle. That works too. So, yep.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Is that all the questions?
A couple gals said they're interested, so
It's on my Etsy shop.
Yep.
If you guys want to purchase it, if you're interested in the group, just message me. It's easier to do it that way.
is it still pinned to the top of your regular Cats Creations?
What?
Your private group? How to join your private group?
No, because people were saying that they were having a hard time finding the group videos. So what I did is I started repinning the current video for the week at the top. So when people went through this week, it was easier for them to find it. So,
Yeah, there's a couple gals that said they're interested in joining the private group.
yeah, right now is a really good time.
And Angela, she does the pipe cleaner on the bow short because she ties it to the bow and then she pokes it through and then ties it in.
Yeah, if you look at the back, there's very little stuff to work with. Like, this is my pipe cleaner. So this is it.
Yep.
This is the pipe cleaner for the sign, and pipe cleaner for the sign.
Yep.
So, awesome. Okay,
That's it?
that is it. I need to make sure it stays on there. There we go. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, private group people, I will see you Sunday at 5. I think I'm gonna go license and trademark because you know why? I can do it in my private group. So, and it's not being advertised out there, right? So we'll probably have fun with some licensed trademark stuff, whether we do something Grinch related. I have a custom order that I need to do that they want a Whoville wreath. So I'll probably show you how we do that, and the sign, and the ribbon, and what we do, and show you how you can do that for custom orders. So, yeah, I think we will.
Awesome.
All
Oh,
right.
Regina was on. She said, sorry I missed you guys tonight. No problem.
Aw.
Hi, Regina.
We are definitely going to be working on bows again
Yeah.
very, very soon. All right, everybody, well, have a great rest of the weekend. Go out and enjoy time with your family. And for those of you not in my private group, I'll see you next Friday at 5 at this time on 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time because it's a daylight savings time, 7 Central, 8 Eastern.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, I think I nailed it all. Okay. Well, you guys have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.